The stage is gradually getting set for the race to Aso Rock in 2023, as names of those showing interest to run for office of president have been on the rise. Presidential aspirants around the country have been declaring their bids under their various platforms to contest for the #1 seat in Nigerian politics. But it's one thing to aspire to be president and another to be fully equipped for the job with the right ideas and plans to move the country forward. Another name who has come forward to declare his interest to compete is Christopher Imumolen, a presidential aspirant on the platform of the Accord Party. Imumolen said his ambition is to move the country forward and believes that with new youthful ideologies, Nigeria will be on the right path to greatness. Joining us this morning on the show as we discuss his plans for the country if he secures his party's presidential ticket is Christopher Imumolen. Welcome to the show. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for having me on this show.
Well, Professor Imumolen, you want to be president of Nigeria on the platform of the Accord Party. What is the source of your motivation? What do you want to do for Nigeria? And do you think you can get the ticket of the Accord Party?
Okay, thank you first and foremost for having me on this program. And we all know that Nigeria has become a country that has attracted so much interest, basically with what has been happening and what is currently happening. If we start mentioning what is happening in the country today, I think the show by itself will not give us enormous time to start doing that. It's high time for various individuals, I believe, who think they have what it takes, haven't achieved personal success privately, those who believe they have the heart to move Nigeria forward. I think this is no time for people to beginning to think that politics is a dirty game. That has been our belief. And that again has drawn away or set away those who truly might have the genuine mind to move this country forward. I believe I have what it takes as a young Nigerian, looking at those who have done very well as leaders, being young Nigerians, those who fought for independence, fought at a very early age, those who, from record, who have done pretty well as those who govern us, did that as a young. So there is a room for youthfulness in productivity when it comes to leadership. And as regarding party ticket, of course, party ticket must go through, obtaining party ticket must go through a democratic process, primaries and the rest of them. The first step I've made by buying and purchasing my nomination form, and the next is to go for the primary. I'm very optimistic that I will get the primary ticket.
Right, so you're really stressing youth. What are you doing to galvanize that youthful constituency in this country, and how are you going to ensure that they vote for you rather than other candidates in the process? Yeah,
you are right. Election is about getting the hearts of the people to tilting towards you. Haven't believed that you can provide for them what they truly lack or what they look for in a leadership. That is one of the things we have been doing. For the past 7 to 8 years, we have been galvanizing this grassroots youth across the nation. And through our NGO, some of the NGOs we work with, we've been doing this long before now, anticipating that a time will come when one of us in that group would eventually emerge or come up for the presidency. So all through the nation, we have groups, we have support groups in each constituencies, in each local government, in each ward, that are working silently to ensure that the mandate of the youth come to pass come 2023.
So you are a professor. What will be your final, and I mean final solution to this ASU strike debacle?
Yeah, okay. One, I have a heart for education. I am educated, I'm a professor, and I've worked with various universities, even having owned my own university also as a young person. Value for education to me is very paramount, because if we begin to have leaders who do not understand the value for education on a citizen, they will play politics on education. Education should be one of the sectors where politics should not be played with. You should not play politics around it, sorry. So, one, I have the heart. I understand what education means to national building. If our citizens are not educated, then we'll be providing or producing valueless leaders who would will be waiting to give us, solutions to our country. So we need to put in. So one, I have that. I'm going to put in everything it takes to making sure that we do not have breaks in our educational calendar. Nigeria is one of the few countries who still have problem with tertiary education, especially when it comes to strike. It's an archaic problem. It's a Mendeva problem. You hardly would find that anywhere. So one, we need a leader like us who value education, who have gone through that system, who understand it, who can quickly terminate any problem.
But you've not answered the question. What would you do to end the strikes permanently? The steps. What would you do?
Number one, there are challenges there.
What is even the cause of this current ASUU strike?
One, there's a problem, different requests from the ASUU. This problem has been on since 2019, and government is moving. Just there are funds to make that happen. One, like I said, I was trying to say value. If you don't have value for a thing, you move. There are things that we have spent money for in Nigeria that is even less, to me, in our priority. Yes. So why can't we make sure that over 20 millions of children at home, that again is a project that's going to cause a lot of security problems. We should look at it from that holistic. So value for education is key, the heart. Once you have that, then you can now prioritize it and say this is key.
No, but value doesn't solve the problem. So what will solve the problem? That's just what I'm concerned
about. One is to is to start answering to fund education.
How?
Funding,
How are they going
provide
to
funding for education, ensure that what is provided is used. You cannot run an education the way we are running this in Nigeria and expect to have Nigerians who will go to the space. Expect to have Nigeria who will start building robotics or solve our national problems. We must fund education. We must provide funding. The UNESCO recommends that budget to education or what goes to education should not be less than 10% of national budget. We still have that deficit. Even what is budget to education, how many of them actually goes through to impact the quality of education?
But the dichotomy here is about, payment, IPPS, and so what's the solution? I just want to know the idea to solve this current education debacle. Or in fact, you're a professor, because you've not answered it, sir.
No. When I say value, one, value will make you shift ground because you know that when you answer this, it gives more value. One, it's politics. That what you mentioned is just one of the agenda they've brought forward. Yes, we look at those agenda. One, funding for education, the payment system for the staff. Let the government shift ground and allow students go back to school.
We have 3 minutes to go. Before then, I want to ask you about the politics of zoning. I assume you are from the north. You are from Abaji, right? You are the Abaji of Ado of Abaji, right?
No, I'm not from the north, from Edo State.
You are from Edo State?
Yes.
Okay, so you are a southerner?
I'm a southerner.
Okay, you just have a chieftaincy title from the north?
From Abaji, yes.
Okay. Let me ask you your thoughts on politics of zoning.
For me, I know the youth of Nigeria don't want to dabble into politics of zoning because our generation was not really part of those discussions. Our generation, those a little bit above 40 or below that age. What I believe is competence. I know Nigeria is a very diverse country. We have to look at, we should be fair so that leaders come from this angle so that for fairness and equity. But again, I'm very more concerned about competence of those that handles the affairs of this country. Even if, for example, Nigeria wants to go into zoning, which for me, I'm more concerned about competence of those that lead us. Aside from zoning, that is mine. But if Nigeria, for example, wants to say zoning, then it must be done by ensuring that those who are emerging from this zone are competent, have the wherewithal to run the economy. And how do we do that? It's by checking what they've done in the past, looking at their past records. What have they done? What have they achieved? And that can be used to determine what we'll be expecting from them.
Well, Professor Imumolen, we would like to thank you very much for joining us today on The Morning Show. We wish you well with your aspirations.